Just got the peas and the scarlet beans in, and I planted sunflowers along the edge and on both ends. And now I've got peach trees to plant. There's my giant raspberry bush. It started out as 2 canes 3 years ago, and now that's more like 250, 300 canes. And they're coming up, clear up to the bed here, and almost to those rocks back there, and over to that bush over there. They're spreading like mad. Red raspberries. They're pretty good too. There's my compost bin that's clear full of goodness coming. And this bed has eggplants in it with mums up the center. I don't know why we got mums, but we got mums. And there's asparagus in the background. It's almost 4 feet tall, the female plant is. There's a bunch of small little male plants. And that puff of green in the back is a California poppy. And those are my tomatoes in pots, lots of them. And this second row is beets, golden beets and red beets and carrots. And the third row is round zucchini, autumn squash, or whatever they call it. And the raised bed back there has dahlias in it and a bunch of other stuff. And behind it is phlox and peonies and purple coneflowers and a hops vine and some oriental poppies. And this tree right here is a paper birch or something to that effect. It started out in a pot 4 years ago. It was about 3 feet tall, and now it's about 25 feet tall. And there's a little baby lilac right between the fork of the tree with some glads around it and whatnot. And then we have the back of the house mess, which is driftwood and a grill cover and a Dracaena and some nice foxglove and a coffee plant. That's a coffee plant. And this other really nice driftwood that's got a bunch of crap on it. A nice driftwood with lots of little holes and crannies to plant stuff in, and it's a nice long piece. And it's hollow underneath, so we could plant stuff underneath it and have good room. And those little doodahs are lupines. There's lupines and marigold seeds under the dirt. And hostas, of course. And another cool little driftwood with a nice hollow in the middle of it to catch water. Nice looking root overall. And then we have some bee balm. I think it's white bee balm, Monarda. And under the plastic greenhouse is a coneflower that the slugs were eating, so I saved it. And that's this plant right here is a ruby red penstemon, which are sort of related to foxglove. And this is another nice driftwood with a nice hole in the top. A hole deep enough for a fern, maybe. Some nice texture on there. It's a really pretty piece of wood. It's got a lot of nice colors and forms. And this is a licorice plant. It really smells like black licorice when you bruise the leaves. And apparently the slugs like it. And there's a pink or a blue bee balm with some more lupines behind it. And another hosta and clematis, of course. And that's what these trellises are for. But there's another nice look at that piece of driftwood. And here's a driftwood bowl we found. It holds about 1 inch of water in the deepest part. So we keep water in it for the butterflies. And then we have something that Gurney said was toad lilies, but we think they're out of their fucking mind because Gurney's just rather sucks. You shouldn't buy from Gurney's because half the time they send the wrong shit or they don't send anything at all and they just keep your money. Oh, but every purchase is guaranteed for life, so... That's another Monarda, another lupine. This bed is going to be huge and bushy and tons of flowers on it come like the middle of July or the 1st of August, and that'll be nice. And then we've got some nice Solomon seal. It's starting to bloom. Has pendulous flowers from the underside of each stalk. And they arch over and they're very, very pretty. Very pretty plant. They don't smell though, and the flowers feel like wax when they open, like wax lips. So that's Solomon seal, and it does have seeds, and then all this spiky purpley stuff is ajuga. So I've heard it called ajuga. It's sort of just a creepy ground cover, and then we have a foxglove and a foxglove and some fireweed and some more foxglove and lots and lots and lots and lots of foxglove and shine on the dead butterfly bush. The fucking ice storm of winter. It was 11 degrees for a day and it froze its little toes off. Anyway, there's a hidden plastic frog in there. A nice clematis coming up, and a trumpet vine stuck to the porch. Don't know if it'll ever do anything. And a cornflower plant that's huge and bushy because it really enjoys life, which is kind of nice. It's a big bush. And then our scary face bushes. Those are, what the hell are those? Some kind of bush. More foxglove. Come up here and look at the foxglove. That's a really nice plant. It's going to be huge. And some hosta and purple columbine. And some more columbine. And a big nest of honeysuckle that the winter killed. So nice that it's dead. And here's the curly hazelnut tree with some 1970s chicken decanters. I wonder how much those would be worth on eBay. They're supposed to hold wine in them. That's why they call it a curly hickory or hazelnut, because it's curly, and the whole bush is curly like that. It's supposed to be a tree. There's our big gorgeous maple tree, variegated maple. There's some giant bamboo that the mamas and the papas that this bamboo came from were about 40 feet tall, with canes about 1.5 inches to 2.5 inches in diameter. And I got a baby start off of it. The bamboo is really quite magnificent when it's big. And over there in the corner is a sad bamboo, but this stuff is rhubarb flowers. Rhubarb. Big rhubarb. But apparently that's all the flowers are. They're kind of strange. There are little openings and stuff. It's just like a cauliflower barb. That's rather interesting. Anyway, there's my grass and part of my arbor that's not built yet. And bamboo and an overgrown pond that's full of sludge and slime and gross. And we'll take a quick look at my bluebells and my dollar plants and my breezeway thing. It's a breezeway. A breeze comes through there all the time. It's very nice. And here are my wild strawberries that got in there somehow. I like it very well. It's just a peat bog. with some water. And these little circle things here are carnivorous plant flowers. They're Sarracenia flowers. There's 3 of them. 1, 2, 3. And I got a new baby start off of this because it fell off the plant. The plant all kind of looks bad. They're usually open traps, and the other one's kind of different, but it should be flowering too soon. And then the rest of that stuff in there is reeds. I think Terry called them reeds. There's my brown ornamental cousin it grass. I like that stuff. It never turns green. You can't tell if it's alive or dead. It just gets bigger and stays brown. California poppies, or no, those are oriental poppies, duh. And little blue forget-me-nots. And my pond that has tadpoles in it, and baby frogs, and adult croaking frogs, and a fish. And soon it'll have papyrus in it, and water hyacinth, and flowering or fairy moss, which the duckweed lived through the winter time, so the green on there is duckweed, and grass, and lots of moss, of course. Anyway, moving on, I got ferns in the back row, and lots of lily of the valley that smell awesome, and false Solomon seal, and some bracken ferns. Those are the ones right in the center are sword ferns. Bracken ferns are over here, and they're kind of different. They stand on tall stalks and have ferns that arch out from the top. Not like sword ferns at all. But there's a bracken fern. You can almost see it. There's several branches. It's about 5 feet tall, 6 feet tall, 7 feet tall. There's some more. Some more. There's some up in under the bamboo, which is really a sad bamboo. Poor bamboo. And this is where my best foxglove bed was last year. And it looks more like dandelions and grass this year. Dandelions for the win. A long row of grass that's got cornflowers in it, and salsify, and lilacs, and daisies, and foxgloves, and it'll be beautiful in about a month and a half. So we're still on tour here, going on 15 minutes. Sorry, I'm a slow motherfucker like I am. But you gotta see all my plants, my wild area. So there's a hosta in there. The frogs love this stuff, and I like the frogs. So I like them ribbiting at night. They're very cool. If I was quiet, he might start up here in a minute, but I'm not very quiet, and he's afraid of me, so we have honeysuckle bush in there. That's what, not honeysuckle, but huckleberry. That's a huckleberry bush right there at the end of my crutch. There's lots of little ones in here. These ferns need cut back so they look good this year. This is a big slug. That's what that is. Those are the false Solomon seals. They're little baby arching plants. They're kind of cool. And that's lily of the valley. It smells awesome. I wish my frog was out so you could see him. Some violets. Lots of violets. Nice bracken fern coming up right in the moss there. Some more. Lots of brackens in there. They're spreading. Lots of lily of the valley in there. They're spreading. Here's a little foxglove grove. That'll look awesome in a couple months. Purple, big purple spikes of flowers are beautiful. Where you at, frog? I know you're in there. Alright, end of the video. Bye-bye.